Episode 7, new digs, new location, new setup. Man, this is becoming more professional every day here. Welcome to the Power 5 Sports League Proverbs podcast with Coach Norman and Coach A, where we break down the journey from youth sports to the pros. Whether you're a young athlete, a parent, or just an overall sports fan, this is the spot for you. I'm your host, MC Mike, and I'm joined alongside two Permian Basin coaching legends, Coach Norman and Coach A, and a very special guest today, KJ Lewis. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Man, we blessed. I'm blessed.
Doing well.
Man, I'm blessed too.
Right.
Super excited.
We all are.
MC Mike, before you go any further, you said this was episode 7, and I believe in numbers and 7 being the completion. So I just want to throw that out there that it took us 7 episodes to get to where we are, and this is just the beginning.
Just the beginning. It took us 7 to get to the start line.
Right.
Epic on where it's come, and it's been a hell of a journey with you guys so far. So I'm really excited to be a part of this. Today, we're actually going to be talking about dedication and the toughness and the perfection of skill sets. We're going to highlight that through KJ's journey through West Texas youth sports and where it led to the best D1 basketball programs in the nation. But as always, we'd like to start off the show with a prayer. Today, Coach Norman's going to lead us off in the prayer. Coach Norman?
Yes, sir. If you would bow your heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us to speak to the people. Thank you for allowing us the platform to speak to the people. And Lord, we just ask that you use our words to honor you on today. And we thank you for our guests that we have in here today. And we ask that you just keep your hedge of protection around him as he goes through the rest of his journey and his career. And we just ask all these many blessings. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Always well said. And then, of course, as always, we'd like to introduce the proverb of today. Coach A, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I'll take this one. And also with the lesson, I had to write some stuff out to make sure that I hit every aspect. Proverbs 22:29 from the NIV version. Do you see someone skilled in their work? They would serve before kings. They would not serve before officials of low rank. And you always ask to break this down, break it down in 2 ways, what they were talking about here in an athletic standpoint. God honors excellence when you when you dedicate yourself to mastering your craft and working with integrity, your gifts will make room for you. Skilled paired with diligence, open doors to opportunities and influence. Don't chase titles, chase excellence, and the right people will take notice. So from an athletic standpoint, I had to write athletes who commit to their crafts, who train with discipline, pay attention to detail, and give their all. Don't stay overlooked for long. Just like the verse says, skill and hard work elevate you. Whether it's playing time, starting position, or a shot at the next level. Excellence attracts opportunity. Don't aim to play, aim to stand out. When you stand faithful in the small things, God would open doors to compete on a bigger stage.
Absolutely.
It's a lot. It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, but that was good, though.
Yeah.
That's what they needed to hear, man. Shoot, you know.
You know what I love about this segment is that we can sort of intertwine previous proverbs. And the one thing that came to my mind the last time, or when reading this one, and obviously hearing your analysis of that, is, victory is always given to the Lord, right? No matter what we play, and we always serve that higher power in whatever we're trying to do. The dedication and the skill sets that go along with the need to win are also at that service. Right. So that's, I just love the fact that in sports, which is based around competition, the dedication and the skill sets are all deserving by up above, man, by Lord.
Right. By God. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. He bless you with your talents, and you do your due diligence and use your talents to honor God. That's what it's all about. And I think our guest today has done that. I've had a chance to see him at a very young age develop into this, right?
Man, and let me do something different today, man. Since we on the new set and everything, man, let me go on and bring in this young man, right. Let's bring him in right. So P5 family, y'all listen. Today is special. You already know what time it is, man. We got a certified baller in the building.
Yes.
And this ain't just any guess, man. This is he a straight up bucket, a defensive demon, and one of the coldest two-way guards in college hoops right now. Right now, today, repping El Paso, Texas to the fullest. West Texas. He made noise at Chapin High School, Duncanville High School, shook up the scene at Arizona.
Right.
And now he's bringing that same fire to the Big East with the Georgetown Hoyas.
Man.
Georgetown Hoyas. He's 6'4", 6'4" and a half, about 210.
Right.
A pure hustle, heart, and highlight reels. A Big 12 all-freshman honorable mention, or was it Pac-12 or Pac-10 all-freshman honorable mention, and a above-the-rim finisher, a lockdown defender, and most importantly, a leader on and off the court. Whether he's making plays, looking up your favorite player, or putting someone on a poster.
Right.
This brother is always on go mode. So I want you to put your hands together and let's make some noise and show some love for the one and only KJ Lewis.
It's great to have you with us, man. It really is.
Man, I swear to God, I've been trying to do that for the longest, man. I hope I'm saying right, KJ, man. How you doing today, man?
And I'm blessed, man. I appreciate you guys for having me.
Yes, sir.
I mean, again, I'm just extremely blessed to be in this position that I'm at right now.
Right.
And again, you know, just like what the Proverbs said, continue to work, dedicate my craft to, you know, obviously the man above, and
Right.
you know, hopefully, you know, he has a plan for me, and you know, ain't no question in it.
No doubt, man.
So let's get your take on that proverb. I'll throw it back up here. You know, you obviously, again, we really want to focus in on some of the conversation today about the dedication to your craft and your skill set, and really what it took for you to get to where you're at. But when you see something like this, man, what goes through your head? What do you think about when you see a proverb like this?
I think the first thing that came to my mind, hearing Coach read, you know, his notes and reading the scripture and everything was, you know, the work that you put in the dark will come to light eventually. No need to rush, you know, what God has in store for you. You know, the work that you put in, only you know how much work that you did, you and God, obviously. And, you know, once the time come and, you know, the lights are bright, you know, he's not going to let you down. He's not going to fail you. And I kind of, you know, I feel like I've been using that my whole life. You know, growing up here in Midland and El Paso, not too many people, you know, expect athletes or young athletes to come out, you know, of these cities and these areas. And so again, you know, I just use this and use that, what I just said, as, you know, a testament.
Man,
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
That's huge, you know, because in other episodes I talked about how important it is to private preparation calls for public celebration. And again, I get an opportunity to talk about you because I knew you when your mom was coaching at Lee, and she brought you to the front gym, and I saw this skinny two-pick kid that I was doing a jump clinic, and I put the band on his waist, and he was so skinny that it wouldn't even stay on.
Man.
But yet it was hard, but he never gave up, right? And so throughout time, that habit, right, created this monster that you became now. And a lot of people don't know what you did outside of the games. How your mom made you get up early, and then all of a sudden it became habit to you. So kudos to you, and this proverb is very fitting for you.
No, definitely.
Yeah, man, shoot. And just staying along those lines, man, going back to the beginning, man, like, I'd like to know, you know, how it all started. Like, I guess you were born in El Paso, correct?
Yes, sir. Born in El Paso.
Born in El Paso. And then just take us on that journey, man, on where you was born and, you know, the journey throughout your early days, I guess you would say, through high school and stuff.
Nah, definitely. I was born in El Paso. Lived there until about like 3rd grade, so maybe like 8 years old. I had some my grandma had got sick, so my mom, she wanted to move back down here to Midland.
Okay.
I didn't want to come at first, so I decided to go move to Arizona with my dad for a year.
Okay.
Realized that I'm kind of mama's boy.
Are we all
And
right?
so I realized I was a mama's boy. So 4th grade or 5th grade, I moved back with my mom here in Midland.
Yeah.
And obviously the basketball aspect, my mom, she played at UTEP. She became a basketball coach. So just naturally being in the gym, kind of, started my love for the game, seeing the passion that she coached with, and her coaching my sister, seeing the passion that my sister played with. It kind of just, it grew within me, being a little kid running around the gyms. Like coach said, I think I was like 6th grade when I first met him. I remember being on the Vertimax.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, my journey is taking me everywhere, from obviously El Paso to Arizona, back to Midland, back to El Paso for high school, where I played my freshman and junior year there. And then my last year of high school, I moved to Duncanville. Trying to embrace,
Right.
Panthers.
man, trying to embrace, the challenges ahead, getting ready for college, embrace, the hardships, the hard coaching, getting mentorship, getting leadership from, guys who have coached professional athletes, and what it takes to get, a player like myself to the next level.
Yeah.
And, and it led me to Arizona.
Right. Hey, so I continually hear you talk about mentorship and talking about people that had impact your life. So let's go back to growing up in El Paso. When did the dream of playing basketball happen, or when did you start thinking about, hey, I can probably play at the next level? Like, what was it that started?
I probably wouldn't. The dream was just always watching, obviously, the NBA in college.
Right.
And obviously, again, just being in the gym. I didn't think I really realized how, like, I could accomplish it probably until sophomore year of high school, maybe sophomore summer. Again, just because obviously it's kind of unheard of for West Texas kids,
right.
To play at a Power 5, school, or to even make it to a professional level. And so it was just kind of always like, it's a dream, but like, let's, we got to work, but let's also be like kind of realistic as a young kid growing up. But again, being around a single mother who's passionate about, everything that she does,
everything
in the game of basketball itself, it kind of just instilled that passion, and that, that dedication, and, seeing her from a leadership aspect, how much, work is going to take to, get to my dream. But I would probably say the dream's always been there, but like the realization probably didn't happen until I was in high school.
Okay. That'll work.
Did you play any other sports, or was it mostly basketball?
No, I played.
That's where I was gonna go to.
I played everything. But like the 2 or the 3 sports that I probably would say I was really good at was basketball, football, and track. I was playing. I did all those up until high school. I just picked basketball. But definitely being a kid to branch out in different sports, to see what I really was better at, or like what I was naturally gifted at, and being raised by a single mother who really doesn't like football that much, she kind of navigated me more towards the basketball side, I would say.
Well, with her coaching experience, her playing experience, I mean, I wouldn't bet otherwise. What I find interesting here is that we have some special guests on a lot, and there's always that track aspect of it, right? There's always that fundamental of
track,
speed and strength and teamwork that comes with track. GNS summer track registration is open now at the Power 5 Sports League, so there's a little plug for that one. But I'm assuming that with football, and what position did you play in football?
I play receiver and safety.
Receiver and safety. Okay, so you definitely had the wheels, obviously, with track associated with that. And I ask this question pretty often to our guests as well. But is there any specific skill set that you learned in track and on the football field that perhaps you were able to refine a little bit more in the basketball court?
I feel like with track, I used to run the 400 in 7th grade.
Okay.
I didn't realize how much of a beast that event is.
Boy, tell them, talk about it.
So probably
That's a man's race.
Man, yeah, that's a different that's a different type of event.
Right.
So probably controlling my breathing and the speed and the pace of which you run the 400 with.
Right.
You know, everybody has their different, philosophy about it. Like if you sprint the curve, jog the straightaway, or whatever it may be. So learning how to control my speed and when to, change speeds with the track aspect. And then with the football, just the physicality. Obviously, being here, in Texas and obviously in Midland, it's a football city.
Right.
Just, embracing that physicality. And then, just taking both those things onto the basketball court and trying to use both those to my advantages. I was already pretty tall. And then once I started, not in middle school, I didn't lift in middle school, but once I started lifting, embracing the phicality, and I think that I got from football.
Right.
Nah, that's awesome, man. Man, speaking of that physicality, talk to us about, maybe because I guess you played in El Paso at Chapin. That's how you pronounce it, right? Chapin High School, and then you went to Duncanville. Talk about the differences in physicality, is it a difference? You know what I'm saying? You got two different spectrums. Is it?
Yeah, I mean, El Paso, it was a whole different type of physicality from an aspect of me being the most athletic guy in the city at the time, trying to figure out ways to embrace how I was going to be guarded. Embracing how the refs are going to let other shorter players guard me, how physical they were going to be, learning how to be in control when I jump in the air and stuff like that. There was a lot of stuff going on in El Paso, and I think obviously when you transition to Dallas, the athletes get way better.
Right.
They just as fast, they just as tall, they jump probably higher.
Right.
So really learning how to use my body with my shoulders and just playing to different ways, playing in different ways to absorb contact instead of taking the hit. Me being the one to initiate the contact.
Right.
So it was just a learning between two. I feel like my first 3 years in El Paso, I was trying to do way more finesse and being more athletic, jumping. And I learned pretty quickly how I play way better with my feet on the ground and and learning
more physical.
being more physical. And
man, that's
taught me
interesting that you talk about the like the way the refs are gonna call it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, we always getting on the refs and all of that. I know they don't see everything and all of that. So, but as a player, I guess it is a difference in how they're gonna make calls, based off physicality and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's true, I guess you can say.
Definitely. I mean, the reffing is, excuse me. Being in El Paso, nobody sees, a 6'4" athlete dunking and like doing all the stuff that I was doing. So
yeah,
I feel like it was kind of new to the refs to see all that.
Yeah.
They were still kind of adjust to, my style of play.
Right.
And unfortunately, my mom, she was getting tired of me getting undercut and the little, stuff the other players had to do to just make it kind of even. And then that's when we wanted to transition into playing against players that I'm gonna be seeing from that point and going on.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what position did they have you playing out there in that job?
I played everything from point guard to center to whatever.
Okay, because I like to say that sometimes coaches, when they get a kid your size, the first place they put them is down in the post.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's to help the team. But if that coach is smart enough, he has to put you in a position that's going to help you further, because more of a 3 or 3 or 2 that you'll be playing in college. So was there times that you had to kind of express to your coach, hey, I just don't want to be down here catching the post, drop step, dunking on people. Like, let me get out here and show my skills.
I think my high school coach, I love him to death. He's still one of the most important men in my life. I talk to him to this day. I think he was real open with, me playing free, putting me in position to, be whatever I wanted to be on the court. But obviously, I mean, it came with work and trust. He's seen the work I put in to trust me to be out there on the perimeter.
Yeah.
Instead of just putting me in the paint and saying this is, you know, the only place that I can, you know, dominate.
Right.
And then it started even before that, before I got to high school with Coach Wright, another, you know, important man in my life. Yeah. You know,
Coach Danny Wright.
Yeah, legendary coach, man. Right. In middle school, he let me, you know, do the same thing. He trusted me. He seen the work I put in. He didn't just put me in the paint and say, just because you taller than everybody here in Odessa and Midland,
right.
You know, doesn't mean you got to play center for us. You can, you know, play guard. And then that just kind of expanded, you know, my skills on the wing and on the perimeter. And I still had all the physical tools to play down in the post when I needed to, or when I had the, you know, the opportunity against, you know, somebody smaller.
See, and that just takes me, because you continue to repeat the same thing. The coaches trust you because they seen the work that you put in, not the play, but the work that you put in. Yeah. And that just goes back to our Proverbs, right? And I think it's important because I saw something that Carmelo Anthony took a shot and he had 2 or 3 defenders over, and one of his teammates was mad, like, I'm open. And his rebuttal to that was, I take those shots in practice and make them. So I do this in practice so that I can do it in the game, right? So it's important that everybody hear that you keep saying the coaches trust you because they saw the work that you put in.
Definitely.
And we actually speak pretty highly about skill sets like that, as we actually refer to that as a coachable athlete, right? And that's such an important piece for coaches, for parents to understand, like, you know, having that dedication and that skill set, understanding the game where you can play anywhere on the floor, and then having that trust instilled in your coach that you can get the job done, not only to enhance your own career, but obviously for the team as well. I have a question with respect to physicality, and, you know, you guys are talking a lot about offense. I'm a defensive guy.
Mike, real quick, man, I don't mean to cut you off, but we got a special guest that just called in to the show.
What?
Man.
Phone a friend?
Special guest. Yeah, we had a phone a friend come in.
Who could this be?
Hey, hello.
Coach, how you doing, Jay?
Man, what's up, Coach Wright? This is Coach Danny Wright that KJ was just talking about.
Amazing.
Is that right?
Yeah. He brought you up on the show, man, and said you was a big inspiration to him and everything, man. Man, anything you want to say about KJ?
Well, Coach, I don't think you have enough time, but I'll give you a little snippet. First of all, I love him. I absolutely love him. He's one of the most humble kids that I've ever known, and athletes. I had to trick his little tail in to get 40 back when he was in middle school, Coach.
Yeah.
He was so unselfish, just so unselfish. He would worry about other kids ain't scoring, and I'm trying to get the game over with, Coach. You know, but he's very coachable. Coach, he's one of those special athletes where, now, Coach, I thought I was a dog, you know, coming through. So the coach did the same thing. So when I'm coaching, you know, he's one of those athletes where you show him something and then he do it, but he do it better than you did.
Better than you showed him.
He's executing what you just showed him better than you did. You know, and I'm like, you know, that's all right. You know, that's all right. So, the beautiful thing about KJ is at the middle school, Coach, you know, in athletics, you're going to do everything. All right? So, in the classroom, that joke was competitive. Coach, he's so gifted. And he's a good-looking little old rascal, you know, but he was so gifted. Teachers loved him. You know, never had no problems athletically. Academically. Every time I turn around here in the hallway with some teacher that love him, letting his butt walk around in the hallway, but get your butt to class. But as an athlete, Coach, we start out the year on the offense side of the ball. Coach, you know, we sharing the ball, but whenever it's 3rd and 22 and you're on the 15-yard line instead of punting, we just throw that thing up. KJ, go get it. Just go get it.
Okay.
Just go get it, Coach. I mean, and I'm talking. Once I realized what I had as a football player.
Wow.
As a football player, Coach, it was like, Coach, I'd put him in motion from the X position, you know, put that slide. I mean, and he just go score. All right? Go to the defense side of the ball. put him at the safety. Coach, he shut down the whole everything inside the hashes. I mean, everything inside the numbers, right?
Yeah, right. He was ranging
at the safety. So in middle school, you know, you got to play everybody. So I would put one of my weaker kids who normally would play. I would put him too high back there with KJ. Tell KJ play it all. Right? And then he's the biggest, fastest, strongest kid on the field. So when he come down, you know, he hurting kids. I said, KJ, listen, man, we gonna run out of kids to play against, man. Just tackle him. You ain't got to hit him like that. Coach, I mean, he's coming down like he water somebody. And I'm trying to quickly give you a sneak preview, a little microcosm of how special he was. Because he was such a nice kid. Now he got a strong mother, and his mother and a sister who just identical. She's mama the 2.0, right?
2.0.
So, you know, I tease him all the time. He wasn't running nothing at home, so when he came to school, Coach had to be the man.
Had to be the man.
Because he wasn't at home.
Right.
Well, so one of my little special team kids got hurt. My little punt returner. So KJ said, respect that, KJ. Coach, this joker ain't even running fast. He's like stiff-arming kids. Every time he touches, he's scoring. So I got to take him out of the game. Coach, he hot. He hot. And Coach, I promise I won't score if I touch it. I promise I won't score. I got to take him out of the game, Coach, so we can get the rest. You know, every time he's touching it, he's scoring. And this is football, Coach.
Yeah.
Football. I mean, all right. So we go to track, Coach. Track. You see him skipping basketball.
Yeah, we were just talking about track too. Yeah.
So put him in the 100. He went the 100. Okay.
So
I
you
put him in
tell
the
us
4x1
that.
at the anchor. You know, hoping that, you know, he gonna have to hustle a little bit.
Yeah.
We struggling a little bit. Kid get the baton, and he anxious, Coach. He don't like to lose. Hate to lose. He gonna suck the kid up after we get the baton. We're in second place. He gonna suck the kid up in the 100. Okay, I said I put his butt in the 200. Put him in the 200, Coach. He running the curve. Ain't never ran the curve before, Coach. Ain't never ran the curve.
Yeah.
He running the curve. I mean, running the curve, Coach, just winning everything. They never get beat.
Like a gazelle.
I said, okay. We're gonna put him in the 4x1. But on the 4x1, we're gonna make sure he triple jump, he long jump. Coach, I wish they could put him in nine events. So the triple was one all of them.
Yeah, he's just doing
jump,
everything.
Jump, he high jump, anything, Coach. Just a freak athlete. But the beauty of it was that he was so humble and wanted to learn. And it was easy to coach. My struggle was to challenge his butt. I was wanting him to get beat so bad and track, Coach. I want somebody out running so I could have something hang over his head.
Right. Yeah.
Never happened. So I said, okay, I'm gonna put him in the 4x2, and I'm gonna take. We had a kid named Jacade that was a pretty fast. So I mean 4x4. So you know, of course, I kept him in there. I put him in there with a couple of other jokers that, you know, participation trophy kind of kids, right? So we were behind, Coach. You know, we were behind.
Yeah.
And I could see his mannerism, Coach. He ain't loving that. He ain't loving that at all. So, old boy get it. It's 400 meters. The boy got probably about 40, 50 meters on it. And KJ hot. He hot. I'm standing on the field. So while he running, Coach, he give me that side eye. Like, you know, why did you?
Why you running?
Why running, Coach? Why running? So he get him. He get him about the last 15, 20 meters. So when he come out off the field, you know, we gonna congratulate him. Coach, he gonna try. Give me one of them. You know, not like I'm glad. Hey, boy, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
He go, you know, like a girl, you know, your girl, you know, she pretty, whatever. You hug and give her a hug. She give you a side hug.
A little side hug.
You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
But I love Coach because what he did, he took that whole class.
Yeah.
That whole class of his 7th and 8th grade doing their class. Coach, when they were 7th graders, I used to have them play against the 8th graders. And football practice, you know, Coach, I probably would give myself in trouble because you're not supposed to do that, but we did. And Coach, they made the 8th graders better because KJ didn't have a heck of a class. They had some kids, Harris, Sewell, Evan,
Okay.
Ray's had some kids that were D1 athletes. They're D1 athletes. Well, Coach, we get to basketball. And basketball is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful thing. Coach, you're talking my sport now. You ain't finna. But it was still one of those things where this is a sport where I'm telling you, I'm showing him, Coach. I'm showing him the drop step, the little jump hook. Coach, we're in the 8th grade.
Right.
And I'm telling him how to come set up, drop step, do the jump hook. So I go up, I do it, sweet, all net. Nice little. Coach, this joker in 8th grade, he come over, flash over, drop step, and dunks the thing.
In 8th grade.
I act like I wasn't looking. See, I saw once he was going up and he dunked it. So I turned my head so he didn't see him dunk it when he came down. You know, so I'm like, this joker here, dude. So we would do things like put him at the point, put him at the 2 guard. He wasn't the tallest, but he's one of my biggest kids. So, but I knew he was going to be a guard when he left high school and going on to college. Well, so we had him as a guard, and Coach, I would challenge him. 4 points. I mean, four rebounds, 2 steals, and 4 baskets first quarter. Coach, you do that 4 times. Coach, you're looking at 32 points.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I had to trick him into get 30 because Coach already got double figures. Chase hadn't scored. Man, I don't.
Oh, he wanted to share the wealth.
Make a dog,
Right.
But Coach, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing where it's concerned. He and I talked day before yesterday. Part of the reserve, we talked about the mentality of being a dog. He's such a great kid, Coach, that sometimes that can hinder him or slow the process. Because
he's humble in that way. He's humble in that way.
He's humble in that way, Coach. And I don't want to cuss on your podcast, Coach. But I would say to him, sometimes you gotta have just mix a little bit. I don't give a care.
There you go.
In your game, there's moments where I'm not trying to take you out of your character, but there's moments where it's 100 be 100, Coach. And now defensively he have no issue whatsoever. But he's such a good kid. It's important. It's absolutely important, and that's the reason I bring it up. It's important to have someone that believes in you, because if you tell KJ he's so coachable, if you tell him to run the offense, he'll run thinking offense.
Right.
Well, Coach Cooley at Georgetown.
Yes.
Once I got a chance to talk to him 2 or 3 times, and of course I had my ulterior motive for talking to him. I've got some sneaky questions. He don't know I'm checking him out as to whether or not he's worthy for my boy.
Right.
That's my baby.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, he believed in it. I got a strong sense of he believed in it. And with our kids, Coach, that's a crucial point. We raise our kids to be good kids.
Right.
We raise our kids to be coachable. We raise them to be memorable. We raise them to be God-fearing kids. Okay. And then we try to keep them from being in that just toughness. You're not gonna go through the same thing I went through. Well, then you wonder why they ain't got that killer in them. Well, those KJ has not only does he have that dog in him, all you gotta do is watch. You put on tape, Coach, and watch him play defense. Coach, he don't even like it. When he was a young kid, we're working on the pick and roll. So let your man help defense. Let your man beat you, KJ, so we can help. Coach, I had to cut that joke out of practice. It's Coach.
Because he was going hard on him.
We're working on defense. We're working on the help drills, man. You're going to get beat at some time in life. Coach, he wasn't having it. He was not having it. So that right there let me know that dog, that killer, is already in him at a young age, Coach. Number one, he hated to lose.
Yeah.
Number two, which is the beauty of it, Coach, when you catch a joker that hate to lose, but he's going to always play by the rules.
Yeah.
and still compete, coach, you got yourself one.
You got
You know what
one.
I mean?
Yeah, no
You got
doubt,
yourself
coach.
one. You ain't got to worry about him being crazy, doing something out of getting himself
Yeah,
disqualified. You ain't got to worry about that.
yeah,
But he gonna get away with what he can get away with. But he ain't trying to hurt nobody. He ain't trying to play out of bounds. He ain't trying to do none of that. Coach, I sat back when he's playing, even at Dunkerville, they play for national schedule. I'm watching him at Shaping, and at Arizona, Coach. I'm like, old boy said, "Get your popcorn ready."
yeah.
Coach, I give him a popcorn and I watch him, and Coach, he hasn't even touched the tip of what his the magnitude of his talent.
Of his
He hadn't
potential.
even
Yeah,
touched it.
yeah.
So I was so it was tell me Lord is who he is. You
Yeah,
know, Coach, sometimes, you know, you can have a kid and you can't see him. Cooley can see him. Cooley can see him. That's crucial. That's crucial. I think he's ready. It was huge for all those teams to show interest, for his confidence, for his character, for his to validate the fact that, you know, he's still a bad boy. I mean, he's a bad boy. And Coach, I mean, it's like opening a kid up. When you believe in a kid,
man. Believing in their potential, boy.
it's gonna miss. He can move mountains, Coach.
Yeah,
Move mountains. When you're in a position of coach, authority, father, what have you, if you believe in a kid, Coach, not only is he gonna do what you expect for him to do or believe he can do, he gonna surpass that.
he gonna surpass it. Yep.
He gonna surpass that. You know what I mean? So I'm extremely excited every time I see him, Coach. Coach, I gotta put my coach hat on. You know, act like I'm hot at him. You know, I find something to get at his tail about. Keep him humble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm proud as I can be, Coach. Proud as I can be. I think I told him once. You know, but he ain't gonna see it every time I see him. You know what I mean? I love it.
No doubt, Coach, man. I love it, man. I love it, man. Coach, man, we really appreciate you calling in, man, and hollering at us about KJ, man. Anything you want to tell Coach KJ?
Man, he know how much I love him and I appreciate him.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, sir.
My man.
Almost got
I
emotional.
know you haven't been there
Man,
with you, Coach.
Yeah. He here, man. He here right here in the middle with us, man. And he said he almost got emotional, man. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't know how you didn't, because I'm over here. I got the chills, man, just hearing everything Coach talking about you.
The coach, you know, I've coached a long time, Coach.
Right.
Coach, I've been coaching forever, Coach. I mean, Coach, I was coaching when I was 15. I'm 64 years old.
Yeah.
I was coaching kids in the projects when I was 15.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. I've run men's basketball tournaments for 44 years.
Oh.
Coach, I have seen an awful lot of talent.
Yeah.
KJ is the best pure athlete
Wow.
that I've ever seen in my lifetime. In my lifetime. Coach,
Man.
Coach, now, you know, LeBron is a bad boy, and that's KJ's boy. That's his boy.
Okay.
He's a bad boy. Coach, I am a Jordan man. Coach, KJ got some Jordan stuff in it. Okay, Jordan some stuff in it. There is going to be a trigger. The reason I like the Big East is because I think the Big East fit his game. KJ's
cool.
physical.
That's good.
Listen, Coach, I'm stretching this joker. Coach, he's in the 8th grade. You know, had a little back a little bit. So I'm stretching this joker. I said to Mama, I said, listen, when that joker ever sit down, when he start playing and all that, he's gonna be a big old boy. Cause this joker leg feel like tree trunks, Coach. And he ain't Coach.
Yeah.
Coach, he looks skinny in his clothes.
Yeah.
He looks skinny in his clothes, but his legs feel like a tree trunk.
Yeah.
You know, and Coach, it's been some special ones come through here. You know, yourself, Roy, you know, we've had some special ones come through here. The Shepherd boys.
Yep.
Coach,
Yep.
This one here, I think God got him. I know God got him. But I think his humbleness is his secret weapon.
Yeah.
Something that's not tangible and you can't see it, but he come to work every single day I just I pray that he stays healthy and go give that Big East. I hate the fact that I won't be able to see him play as often, but go give that Big East a little bit of that West Texas flavor, Coach.
Right,
Man, that's what I'm talking about, Coach. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Coach, for let me hit him. That's my man.
Yes, sir.
That's my man.
No, thank you, man. We appreciate you calling in, man. And you come over anytime, man. We watch them Big East games online.
right, right.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man. KJ, I love you, boy.
Love you too, Coach.
Hey, thank you, Coach, man. That was the
Yeah.
Coach Danny Wright.
Get it right.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you, Coach, man. Thank you. No, right?
That was a lot.
Boy, I'm telling you, I got chills. Boy, the chicken skin
Yeah.
running up and down my arms, boy, it's crazy, boy.
MC Mike, those
Does it
that are
get better
from
than
West
that, man?
Texas, those that are from West Texas, they know Coach Wright. He's a very well-known coach around here. His love is basketball, but his love is kids. His passion is kids,
Yeah.
and he can coach a kid in a way I haven't seen before, just with words, building them up, making them see things the right way, and just instilling the right thing with them. And so, KJ, just knowing what he said about you and the success you had from your high school, and not too many people can leave their high school and go to Duncanville and not only go to participate, but you went in to start. Like, how do you keep yourself humble in that with all the national recognition that you get? Like, how do you keep yourself humble?
I just remember where I come from. And I know the guys that I admired and that I looked up to. I know their story. I know how much dedication they put into their craft and to get to where they're at right now, and the reason why I look up to them. But just the roots that was installed in me. Obviously Coach Wright's one of them.
Right.
My mom and just everybody that taught me how to really work the right way. Really taught me how to if you want something, you got to go get it, and put the work in to go get it. And that's never going to change, no matter how blessed I am and how fortunate I am in the future. Just to remain that same kid that was running around in Midland League Gym and around the streets of Midland doing what.
Right.
Yeah, we was all out there.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. Mike, man, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. We had that slight interruption right there with Coach Danny Wright, man. What you got for us?
No, I mean, by all deservingly so. You got to mute me, man. No, he definitely has a lot of great things to say about you, but my take on that as someone who doesn't know what he brings to the area as a coach. Obviously, meeting UKJ for the first time, he took the words out of my mouth about being coachable. Right, we talked about that 2 seconds ago. That was one of the first things he brought up, which I thought was super interesting. But what I wanted to ask you was, more on the defensive side of the ball. We talk about physicality. We talk about football being an influence on that. I forgive me if you take this the wrong way, but when you're in the El Paso area, you're a big fish in a smaller pond. Then you go to Dallas and you're a big fish in a bigger pond. How much of that physicality made you focus a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball, just to perfect that area of your game?
Nah, definitely. I just wanted to go into Dallas. Obviously, it's a bigger market again. You got all national, level talent in the area. Just trying to do stuff to separate myself, to put me in position to be seen, to be, spoken about. And then obviously, having an old school mom and having old school coaches, you have no choice but to really understand the value of defense. And how easy it can turn into offense for you. And then just really trying to embrace it's something that stuck with me earlier, going into the smoke. I think that's what y'all said.
Yeah.
Embracing that challenge of guarding the other team's best player, who might be going to, the University of Kansas or wherever it may be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's only just going to make me better, sharpen, my tools, and, really focus on what I got to get better as a player. And then also I love the competition. I think that's a underrated value I think, kids have here in this area. The desire to really want to play, different competition. And to be, the best in, wherever you're at, the best in your area, the best in the state. And I think that's, the two things alongside of the physicality. Obviously, you gotta match the physicality. And I think when I got there, I started lifting way more than I used to. I didn't want to be beaten up. I didn't want to be called small or whatever, or soft.
Right.
So just using all those things to my advantage, and taking it into, my workspace, whether that's in the weight room or on the basketball court, or, conditioning, just using all those, those things and those tools to help me, get better overall.
That's awesome, man. Hey, I just want to clarify so he don't get us in trouble. He said an old school mom, not an old mom.
Old school.
Old
Mom.
school
Yeah,
mom.
old school mom. Yeah. Old
That
school
phone
mom.
might ring next.
Yeah, and we keep talking about your mom, but we have to give a shout out to Miss Monica Ramirez, who was the former, but she coached Midland League girls basketball, and they went deep into the playoffs. And I do not think that they've been that far since she's left.
Yeah.
So that's a testament to how important this woman is to KJ, how important she is to the sport, and how knowledgeable she is about it. And for him to understand the direction that his mom saw and went under her tutelage, like any other young male, they can start smelling themselves and want to kind of be rebellion against their mom. But when you're raising a strong young man, that means the mom, trust me, Miss Monica is strong.
Hey, you heard Coach. You said that he wasn't running nothing at the house.
No, and his sister.
And his
So
sister.
he was just baby. Baby.
Yeah, man. Shoot.
Well, talking about playoffs, I mean, I think it's a good time to start bringing up some of the tournament experience you've had. Obviously this is a huge opportunity for any athlete to be on that kind of stage. I mean, do you feel like mentally you have to prepare yourself to elevate your game, or is it just natural with the gifts that you have at the sport to play in a tournament like the NCAA bracket?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest. I mean, you gotta know what's at stake. You gotta know, the national coverage that comes with it. You also gotta know the mental aspect that not too many people see from the outside looking in, the travel, the preparation in between games. You get one day to prepare for your next opponent if you win. So just how locked in mentally you gotta be. And physically how you got to take care of your body. So it really taught me a lot of things, to be honest. My freshman year, going in, like not knowing what to expect, just really just excited to be there. But really like going into this year, I had more of a role on the team. And, we had freshmen. So I know they were looking up to me to see, how I took care of myself and how I prepared for these moments. And I think it's just really just, being unafraid of the moment.
Unafraid.
Seeking it out. And again, it goes back to, earlier what we talked about with the scripture and the Proverbs, knowing that the work that I put in, now the lights are the brightest. I know God, he's, he has me, and him and me are the only person or people to really see the work and the tears and the blood and the sweat, everything that I put into the game to come to, for fruition, in front of, the national media. But it's really, it's fun. The game of basketball is fun. The tournament is a fun thing. And that's all levels though. Like D1 is the March Madness, but D2 have, their tournament. JUCO has their, their jamboree and everything. So whatever level you're at, it's gonna be the same, I feel like. So just, going in there with an open mind, having fun with it, but also knowing the work you still gotta put in when you get to that, that moment. And that's something that I kind of, have to keep, in the front sight of, when I get to that moment again.
Well, you're definitely going to be playing for a school that is no stranger to the tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's going to be a lot of expectations for you there as well. I mean, I'm not trying to add that unnecessary pressure. But it sounds like you are running towards that smoke. You are running towards that opportunity and that competition, which is great to hear.
Yeah.
Man,
No,
somebody
that's
told me a long time ago, pressure either bust a pipe or make a diamond.
Yeah.
Man, that's good.
I'm seeing somebody shining right here, right now.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
awesome, man. That's awesome.
You got something?
Go ahead.
Oh, hey, okay. So I pay attention to the way things interact, and it seemed like history repeats itself.
Mhm.
You left Chaplin to go to Duncanville.
Mhm.
You had all these accolades going into Duncanville that you had to reprove yourself.
Yeah.
Now it seems like you're in the same similar situation with Arizona, Pac-12
Yeah.
freshman,
mention,
honorable
yeah.
mention, and you done all of these great things for Arizona. Now you're transferring to Georgetown. So how are the two similar, and how do you work that when you have to go back and reprove yourself to a whole nother team and win them over?
Yeah, I feel like going from Chapin, being all the things that I was, named over there. I feel like again, God opened, that chapter up for me to go do what I had to do there, to help, show those guys or the younger guys that were younger than me, in my 3 years, show them how, like, you wanna play Power Five, you wanna do all these things, but
Right.
this is what it really looks like.
Yeah.
From a leadership aspect, from a player aspect, from just holding myself accountable in different ways to show them. And I think all the guys that really like latched on to me when I left, they took those teams to new heights. I mean, Chapin, when I got there, Chapin never made it past I think the first round in the state playoffs. When I left, we reached the Sweet 16, which was the farthest the school has been in history.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when I left my senior year, the guys, my underclassmen or my young bulls, they went to Elite Eight, which is one game away from the the state tournament,
Right.
which is a testament to them, but also a testament to them really learning about from experience and from seeing what I laid from the ground.
Right.
And so going into Duncanville, again, everybody is just as nationally sought out as me. So really just going in there with a I wouldn't say like a prove them wrong mentality, just like to show them like everything that was talked about when I was in El Paso is like it was true.
Oh, it's true to this
So
day.
going in there, embracing like first open gym, going in there, going at whoever,
Right.
embracing whoever, just to show them that like I'm like this is real.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like y'all. I'm a dog.
Yeah.
I got the love and the same passion y'all do for the game. It's no different from being in El Paso or Midland. Like it's real talents. Like the talent's there.
Yeah.
I think once they saw that, they they embraced me. They opened me with open arms.
All right.
And going into Arizona, it was a little different. Arizona is, I would say, more of fundamentals, different style of basketball than what I'm used to from going from Duncanville, being like scratch and claw, earning everything you gotta get.
Yeah.
Arizona, you more slow pace, play fundamentals, learning more about the game of basketball in a different way than I did coming out of high school. And then now with Georgetown, I feel like I'm going back into a similar situation like I was with Duncanville.
Right.
A gritty program, who obviously is a historic program, but now nobody really talks about them as much just because the media that they don't get. And I don't know the last time I went to a tournament, but just again trying to rebuild that, have people see Georgetown in the same manner they did back then, and going out there from going in there day one, just setting the tone, from a leadership aspect, from academic aspect, from just a whole different mindset, going in there, set the tone. And I think that's something I did in each journey and each chapter that I was blessed to be in, from Chapin to Duncanville to Arizona and now to Georgetown, and showing those guys what it's like to win. Because being at Arizona, we won a lot of games, been to 2 Sweet 16s, which is hard to do. So just going out there with a winning mentality, showing them what it's like to win in the tournament, how to win big games, and my experiences. Again, just going in there, set the tone is something that, again, I told Coach Wright, like, I want to be a leader. I want to lead in a different way. And, you know, Coach Cooley, you know, he believes in me. You know, he wants me to, you know, lead in my way, but, you know, I know he's going to hold me accountable.
No doubt.
So, you know, just be ready and embrace all that. And I think that's something each journey, again, each coach has hold me accountable. And, you know, expecting me to lead. And you know, I'm going in there with the same mindset.
That's good.
Man, that's awesome, man. Like it's so much to unpack in what you just talked about, man. And you know, one of the things that comes to mind is, man, you are a leader. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not trying to be a leader, you are a leader.
Yeah.
And I just see it in this journey, you know, and going from the different places that you've gone. It kind of reminds me of you know, like when myself and Coach A was coming out of high school and getting recruited and stuff, and we chose to go to Texas Tech, and Texas Tech wasn't, you know, the top of the top of
what it is now.
Yeah,
Right,
you
what
know
it
what
is
I'm
now,
saying?
yeah.
That we were good, but that we wasn't at the top of the food chain, I guess you could say.
Right.
And but you know, we feel like when we got there, you know, we made it better and those types of things.
Pioneer.
And that's what I'm looking at, like in your journey, man. Like you go to Chapin and you making them better. You go to Duncanville, you making them better. You go to Arizona, you making them better. And now you at Georgetown, which is and this what it reminds me of, because my brother, he went to OU at a time where they were well right now they're not that great either, but
like
but he went at a time where they weren't that good,
right?
And shoot, they end up winning a national championship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they had all of that history and stuff of being great and all of that. So it reminds me of it, like you said, you know, things come around full circle, man. It reminds me, you going to Georgetown, man. Georgetown got that history, boy.
Yes, they do.
AI and Patrick Ewing and all of them, man. And Zoe, you know what I'm saying? Mutombo, man. So they got that history, man. And you going into a program now where they haven't been the greatest lately. But shoot, man, I got a feeling some things about to change.
No, definitely. I mean, we got a special group coming into this year. Coach, you know, the coaching staff over there is doing an amazing job. We got straight dogs, guys you want to go to war with. And like you said, each program that I've been embraced in, probably besides Chapin, have been historic. Duncanville is gonna stay Duncanville. It's gonna be the best at whatever they do with or without, you know, KJ. Going in there really trying to, like, I don't want to be the guy who transfers in, and this year Duncanville is not reaching the expectation that they set themselves up to be.
Want to stay with the standard.
Exactly. You know, you gotta go in there with that mindset, and that makes the work even more harder. And then it makes it easier for guys to embrace you because they know you want to win just as much as they do. And you don't want to let the culture fall off or die down. And it just makes everything easier. And I feel like, again, going into Georgetown, everybody knows the standard. A winning program, a historic program. It's just, you know, it takes, you know, just that one group to reset things. So that's exactly what we want to do.
I think I'm gonna be picking Georgetown in my bracket next year now.
I wish you would have went to Tech, but you understand.
We understand. We understand. Everybody got their own journey, their own path.
They do.
Man, that's awesome, man. So Mike, you got anything else for us, man?
I mean, a ton, but you know, obviously we all got things we got a season to prepare for, I guess, next. You know, so I guess, you know, my final question is, you know, with the youth sports in the West Texas leagues playing football, track, basketball, baseball now, I mean, what advice would you give them to get to where you're at? I mean, they want answers about where they are, where they could potentially go. They hear a lot of noise, they see a lot of things on TV, but you were in their shoes, man. Like, what can you tell them?
I would say not to worry about nobody else on social media. Whatever you see on social media, don't worry about them. I've heard this my whole life. My journey, or your journey, is your journey. Your path is your path. It's going to be completely different than your best friends, your neighbor, your teammate. Is going to be completely different. But if you stay down, you know, stay humble, give all, you know, the praise and glory to God, trust Him, but also put the work in on the side of that. Like, like it's unmeasurable
Right.
what you can achieve. Also, I'm a visionist. I like to write down things that I want to achieve for myself. I've been like that since I was little. And I kind of think if you put everything on paper, if you put something on your wall, you got something to look up to when you wake up, and it's just gonna drive you even more.
Yeah.
And I think you just fall in love with the process as well, regardless of where you're at, Midland, Odessa, Pecos, Monahans, wherever
Right.
you're at, you fall in love with it.
Man.
You know, the process and the work. Who says you can't make, you know, to the NBA, to the NFL,
Right.
be a doctor, whatever you want to, you know, whatever your passion is, who says you can't make it? And I think those are the, you know, some of the advice I would give to, you know, little kids that
Man,
were
fall in love with the process. That's such an awesome way to put it. That's like, you know, focus on the now. Don't focus on tomorrow. Tomorrow will come if you conquer the now. Right.
Yeah,
So
I would say just the Coach Wright, he threw it in there. I had suffered a L4, L5 back injury
Yep.
in
Oh,
8th
wow.
grade.
Yeah.
So basically what that means is like I fractured the 2 bones on the side of my spinal cord in my lower back.
Wow.
So I was in a back brace probably for maybe 6 months, 6 to 7 months in 8th grade. And that goes back to when I told you, like, I didn't really know if I could really achieve the things that where I'm at right now.
Right.
But you know, again, I got healed, I recovered. I seen all my friends, you know, get offers, get, you know, these recognitions. And you know, I never questioned, you know, God, and why, you know, I got hurt or why he did this or why I'm, you know, facing the adversity that I'm facing right now. I just kind of, you know, let him, you know, do his thing. And I kind of just, again, put my head down and worked. And again, I think that's another reason why I'm humble, just because I went through such a frustrating and kind of questionable time in my life. You know, 8th grade, you 13, 14,
Right.
gonna go into high school,
Yeah.
you thinking you gonna, you know, be the guy.
Yeah.
And then boom, he told me,
Wow.
like, relax,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
So where Coach Wright was looking for that humbleness, shoot it. That's where it came from,
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
came
You
from.
know, he was looking for it, but that humbleness came right there when you got hurt or whatnot.
So
you know?
wherever it is,
Yeah.
you question it. You know, why are you at in your athletic, you know, journey? Don't question it. Embrace it. Again, embrace it. You know, hit it head or hit the challenge head on.
Right.
And you know, you're gonna get the outcome that you're looking for.
Man, that's awesome, man.
He summed up the whole segment on that. Huh?
I thought he was about 40 years old, man. All this wisdom he's spitting
That's
out here
wisdom,
to these
man.
people, man.
the whole segment, and you know, I guess that's gonna also count as our coach's tip of the week. I mean, there was a lot in there, man.
Yes.
So there's a lot that a kid could really take in from that, and you know, again, just we've spoken about some injuries before. We talked about some youth athletes that had some injuries at the youth level, and they had to get over it at that level. And you know, just being a leader, showing up, and you know, being present and understanding the mental side of the game, and you know, overcoming an injury is not easy. It takes you know, it takes experience, and it takes a lot of mental strength in order to get through that. And again, it's a part of athletics, right? We sort of understand that. You know, the absolute blessed ones will never experience injuries, but you know, maybe they need to try harder.
Right. That's good.
Man,
So-
it's a part of the journey for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick pause right now, and I want to thank today's sponsor. It's the Dahlia Investment Group. Dahlia is a Power 5 Sports League pickleball tournament sponsor. They are the leader in the Texas-based commercial and industrial real estate company. They acquire and develop properties across 3 distinct platforms: commercial, mixed use, industrial, and other communities. So thank you, Dahlia, for your support in the Power 5 Sports League and youth sports in West Texas.
Man, Dahlia is huge, man. They're the ones that's part of the preserve that we're getting out there in West Texas,
Yes.
where the zoo is gonna be.
The zoo.
So we're gonna have a zoo out here in Midland, and
I didn't even know that.
yeah,
that's
man,
crazy.
zoo Midland, and you know, they're gonna have a little pond out there to do some fishing and all that,
that's
and
what's up.
restaurants and everything. So they broke ground on that a few weeks ago, and gonna get that started, man. Get that going.
I was told he was gonna have some pythons in there. So they might need to come on and get these over there.
Boy, crazy. That boy crazy. Man, I guess man, to close it out or whatnot, man. So what's next for KJ, man? What we got KJ going to Georgetown, man. I guess a two-part question. Any goals that you have for this season?
No, for sure.
Or whatnot. Yeah. What's next on and off the field?
On the court goals, obviously have a winning season at Georgetown, make the tournament from a team aspect. And, obviously once you get to the tournament, anything can happen.
Absolutely.
Individually, just trying to be the best player I could be. Whether that's, being a first team all conference guy or
Right.
all American. I just know when I'm the best version of myself is, things are gonna, be on the upside. And then obviously, get to the NBA. That's definitely the biggest goal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then, off the court, just continue to expand in the community. Each summer so far, I've been having a KJ basketball camp for the youth in El Paso.
Okay.
And obviously with a bigger, again,
we're gonna have to get
when
him
I'm
the
fortunate,
million, huh?
when I'm fortunate enough to branch out and to make the camp a bigger thing, to expand it here in West or Midland and Odessa.
Right.
And then when I get to the NBA, again, building more facilities, giving, I always tell my mom this, giving kids more resources so they don't have to expand out to Dallas or to San Antonio or whatever. Right. The resources are here in the backyard.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's kind of the separating factor from, the Metroplex to, us.
Right.
Yeah.
The facilities, the resources, the opportunities to be seen, and everything over there is all in their backyard. So they're more advanced. They're more, skill
More
based,
developed.
Yeah.
So again, when I'm fortunate enough to have the money and the right people around me, have that getting started right away with the facilities. And obviously we got great leaders already, two of y'all right here, Coach
Appreciate
Wright,
you. Yeah.
and more coaches like that to be involved with it and to help expand in that aspect too. So I mean, definitely got a lot of things that I want to accomplish off the court when it comes to the community aspect, for sure.
Well, that's cool, because we believe that we're a league of opportunities.
For sure.
That's one thing that we seek to help our youth.
Yeah.
So if there's some type of way that we can collab with a basketball camp, tell us. We'll make it happen.
It don't even got to be just basketball though, because I mean, obviously y'all got y'all thing going. We can just all put it together.
Yeah.
On top of the stuff that y'all got. I'm just a small sample size into it, and we throw it in.
Listen
there.
to you. You bigger than what you say,
on,
man. Appreciate you.
This man humble, man.
Very.
Shoot,
Very.
Bro, we gonna talk.
Yes,
We're gonna talk off camera,
sure.
man. There's gonna be some good stuff, man. I'm excited about it.
Man.
I think we're all Hoyas fans moving forward here too.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Hey man, my daddy used to love Georgetown, and then I loved him when AI was there, man. And so now I gotta go get me some more gear.
Yes, sir.
Some gets sent.
KJ gear.
Yes, sir. I got y'all. Just send me the sizes.
Hey, yeah. I get on the plane to come out that way.
Say, man, so I'm gonna just before we close out, man, we got a couple of items here, man. We want to present you with, man. We got a P5SL T-shirt, man. I know that one a little big, but we're gonna get you your right size and everything.
This will be perfect. Yeah, that can be for sleepovers. Yeah.
And then also, man, we got this. Let me unwrap it right here real quick. So we got with our P5SL league, we got championship rings, man. So this was one of the championship rings that the youth get, man. So we want to present that to you.
I appreciate that.
It might fit on your pinky finger on.
No, I like this.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So yeah, man, just a little token of appreciation, man, for being here, man, and gracing us with your presence. We love it, man. I've never had a chance to converse with you face to face, one-on-one, man, and I'm truly humbled and gracious that you came and came here, man. And man, it's awesome, man. I pray the best for you, man.
I appreciate you.
Yep. And shoot, we're gonna be looking out for you, man. So if you ever need anything from us, man, just let us know.
No doubt.
Real.
I appreciate you guys for sure.
And it sounds like you always got a home in West Texas and West Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But KJ, it was nice meeting you, man. Thank you for the time and your insights, and obviously thank you to Coach Wright for calling in. Thank you everybody for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop in some comments, drop in some trivia questions. Coach A, we haven't had one in a couple weeks here, man. I know you got sweaty palms trying to make sure we don't ask them again, right?
We good. The show, I did not want to take from the show. It's like the Holy Spirit. When it show up, you let it do its thing. And that's what happened. So,
well, figure skaters in Canada are once again safe. So registration for fall football, cheer, GNS track club in the summer is live right now. Sign up at the power5sportsleague.com website. Anything else, gentlemen? Final thoughts before we pack up here?
no.
Man, KJ, man, let everybody out there know where they can reach you, man.
Yeah, okay.
Your social media tags and everything, man.
I got you. On Instagram, it's DKJ Lewis. TH. Yep, there we go right there. And then on Twitter, it's the same thing. And then those are probably the two easiest ways to get in contact with me. If you're a young athlete, shoot me a little DM request. I'll happy to get back to you with any questions or whatever you guys need.
Accessibility, man. I like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, another fantastic show. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, sir.
Right.
0, 1. Let's get started.